Hello, hello, my friends. It is already the end of May. I know I say that every month. It is hard to believe. You guys, we're almost halfway through the year 2025. That's wild. That's crazy. But we're here today to talk about the candles that I finished burning through the month of May. Now, on my channel, I like to do this twice a month just because I tend to get through a lot of candles. And I feel like empties tend to be the best reviews, they're basically a full review of a candle. Typically, I'll share with you guys when I haul a fragrance. I'll usually do a post burn review, usually midway through. And then at the end of the month, you'll either see if I finished burning a candle. And let me make it clear, I didn't like start and finish burning all of these candles in the same month. Usually I have carryover, month to month. But there on occasion are candles that I burn entirely up in 1 month, which I have that with a couple of these candles. So I feel like we need to just settle in. Let's go ahead and talk about some candles. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new and if you like candle content. I will have all of the candles that I'm talking about listed in the description box down below with timestamps, as well as if I have any like affiliate discount codes, those will all be there for you as well. But we've got a couple of candles to talk about here. At the end of this video, I will also make sure to link my mid-May candle empties in case you happen to have missed that earlier this month. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get into these empties because you guys, I had some interesting things happen this month. So let's go ahead and start out with a country candle. This is a fragrance that was sent to me in PR. This is one of the new for 2025 spring and summer candles. This is Country Candles Fresh Bergamot. We have fragrance notes of bergamot, citrus, orange, lime, basil, and citrus. I'm not sure if this one is still available or if they will be pouring more. If it is not, we do know that the country candle is going to be going away. They are planning to phase it out, I would imagine, throughout this year. So last I had checked, I felt like I saw that this one was sold out. But this was a very fresh, zesty, it's bergamot, but like lime. There's a lot of lime in this fragrance. This was a great candle to burn like after I had any kind of like strong odors in the home. I wanted like a very fresh, clean, clear, like cleanse the palate, cleanse the air type of fragrance. Now, I know a lot of people didn't really care for this one. My friend Connor, I think, said it reminded him of Sprite. I really liked burning this with Lemon Splash from the new Reserve line. I felt like it just gave my home such a good, clean vibe. Now, again, this is like, yeah, it's mainly lime and bergamot is what I'm smelling in here. There's no vanilla. There's nothing like that. It's a very, very zesty, vibrant fragrance. I also liked burning this with the Reserve Orange fragrance, like any kind of citrus. I really enjoyed burning this. If it was still available, would I repurchase it? No, it's a one and done. You guys know my favorite lime fragrance of all time is Yankee Candle's what is it there? Vanilla lime. That's my very favorite one. I have heard an update on another lime fragrance from HOMEWORX that I love almost just as much. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to spill the beans yet about that update, but I have a feeling we're all going to be pretty happy. But Fresh Bergamot, it's a one and done for me. Let's go ahead and talk about a Bath & Body Works candle that I just did a review on earlier this week. This is the fragrance Vacation Villa. We have fragrance notes here of rich sandalwood, crisp linen, and sea breeze. Now, I cannot confirm or deny because to me, this is a new fragrance to my nose. I haven't had any other candles in my collection that smell like this. However, my friend Greg from All About Candles, he put his nose on this and he said, I've smelled this before. I know it's a repackage. He sniffed around and dug around in his stash a little bit. And he believes that this is a repackage of salted amber and vetiver? Something like that. It's salted something and vetiver. I want to say it's salted amber and vetiver. Now, I like this fragrance. Do I feel like I need backups of it? No. If I wasn't a reviewer, if I didn't have the size of a candle stash that I have right now, and I wasn't always focusing on all the new, I could actually see myself purchasing another one of these. I really enjoyed burning this in the bedroom in the evenings. I did not find the performance on this to be strong enough out here in the open concept. I think I gave this one around a 6 in terms of strength and throw, and it maintained that, I would say, throughout the burn. Now, here's the thing that I am going to applaud Bath & Body Works. You guys see how clean that burn was? Very clean burn on this candle. I did not get puny, sooty wicks on this. Now, I did not touch the wicks, so the wicks did look a little bit long every time I went to light it. They didn't develop like excess carbon balls, so I was kind of okay with it. But these wicks performed really, really well, and I actually have another Bath and Body Works candle that performed well for me as well in terms of the burn quality. But yeah, this is a nice fragrance. You get sandalwood in here. I think it was Betsy, you said you don't like it. It's like old lady-ish to you. But I like it. It's kind of clean. Gives me a little bit of like resort vibes. Kind of just like high-end, kind of bougie type of smell. Maybe almost like what you would smell in like a resort lobby. It's nice. Again, do I feel like I need to go out and get backups of it? Will I miss it if it doesn't return? No, but it was a nice fragrance to burn in the evenings. Okay, we're going to talk about a couple of Kringles here, and we're going to talk about Kringle 3 wicks. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. So this first one here is Gardenia. And in fact, I just pulled this out of the crock this morning. So this is in their 3 wick. We have fragrance notes of Gardenia, white floral, jasmine, green, musk, and sweet. And this to me, I get a lot of Gardenia and jasmine in here. It's very floral, very, very white floral heady. Now you're going to see here that there's wicks and there's a lot of wax in here. This candle ended up spending its life in the crock at the halfway point because I did lose a wick during one of the last time I burned it. I lost a wick. And the other thing that I did notice is that the wicks became very, very puny on this. Now, it is no secret that Kringle is getting rid of this painted jar 3-wick format. I did not have very much success with my Kringle 3 wicks here. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. But yeah, this developed really puny wicks, and that is very unusual for Kringle. I know it's happened a few times over the last year. I'm trying to look at the pour date on this one. Yeah, you know what? This one was poured November 17th of 2023, and I remember towards the end of 2023, I want to say it was like October, November, Kringle was experimenting with some wicks. I noticed these types of wicks were in that like ramekin collection that they did where the wicks just pittered out. Some of the country candles in the early 2024, like their spring summer, had that puny dudding out wick thing going on. Since then, they have rectified that. But yeah, these wicks completely dudded out. So I did go ahead and put it in a crock for the rest of its life. It did pretty well. Now, you guys know with me, I don't always love using candle crocks because for me, I'm not going to put a candle into the crock and then take it out. Like I put it into the crock, leave it going for 24 hours until I either A, get sick of the fragrance, or B, it just completely, all the fragrance oils evaporate. So the problem with me with crocks is that I like to have my fragrances complementing each other. I do not want fragrances to clash as I move from room to room. So for me, typically when I put candles in a crock, I'll usually put them in my daughter's bedroom. And so I had this Gardenia, but Gardenia is like a very kind of like, it's a very floral fragrance. So I found myself burning HOMEWORX' Warm Vanilla Coconut, or I was burning Kringle's Seab Breeze with it. We're going to talk about Seab Breeze here in just a moment. But I was burning those fragrances. But again, I'm somebody who loves variety and I started to get sick of it. So I had this going in the crock for about the last 4 days. I think, no, 5 days. I had this going in the crock for 5 days. I will tell you this morning, the potency on this was starting to wane. So I felt like, you know what, let's go ahead and just pull it out and put something else in there. But yeah, that 3-wick did not do so well. I mentioned Seab Breeze, and I do have another 3-wick of Kringle. It is their Seab Breeze fragrance. Now we have fragrance notes here of ozone, coconut, fruit, green, coconut, and amber. And this one also has a pour date of February 13th, 2024. So again, we're in that late 2023, early 2024. And this one also had the puny wick issues. Now this one, actually, I can still smell this. I might hold on to this and crock it because I have not only this 3-wick, I have another 3-wick that is doing the same thing. Again, the wicks got puny halfway through, which in turn affects the strength and throw of the candle. Like I could still, it would take down this fragrance, which is normally, I would give this like an 8 in terms of strength and throw. When those wicks get puny, it brings the strength and throw down to like a 3. You can barely smell it. So, oh, I can still smell this though. You know what? I think I'm going to hold on to this one because I do love the fragrance Seab Breeze. I love, love, love this scent. I would say that this is probably my #1 recommendation in terms if you want a summer coconut-based type of fragrance. It's not a gourmand coconut. It's very like beachy type of coconut, but this goes so well with a lot of other fragrances that are in my collection. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get as much fragrance as I can out of this. So I guess I'm gonna include it as an empty here, but I'm probably gonna go stick this back in the closet, and then when I'm ready to put one of these in the crock in my daughter's room, I will have it ready to go because I do have another 3-wick that's doing the same thing to me with the puny wicks. So we're going to go ahead and put it in there. Let's talk about some Caramel Sundays candles that I finished burning. Now, I do want to put this disclaimer out here. These Caramel Sundays candles that I'm going to show you look very sooty and dirty. However, these candles burn actually very, very cleanly for me. The reason why they get a little bit sooty and dirty looking here in the empties is because when I know that a candle is on its final burn, I just let it burn. Like I really do just let it burn. And sometimes I forget, you know, I forget the time. So yeah, there's kind of the byproduct of these is that little like indentation to make sure that soot doesn't get out. But I did want to let you guys know that up until this final burn, these candles burn very, very cleanly. I did not have a ton of soot accrual. Again, it's because I typically will trim the wicks or extinguish these after about 3 hours. But on these final burns, sometimes I let some of these go for like 6 or 7 hours. So that is where the soot came from. This is the fragrance Pink Salt. Now, I did forget to bring my notes of all of the fragrance notes, but I do have a dedicated review of Pink Salt up. I don't believe that this candle is coming back now for the summer. Caramel Sundays has announced that starting in June, they will be restocking fall fragrances, which I'm really excited about. I know that everybody's like, it's just start of summer, but in the candle business, if you're not a season ahead, then you are behind. So Pink Salt. I liked the fragrance of this a lot. It reminded me a little bit of Bath and Body Works Coconut Pina Colada, or what I wanted Coconut Pina Colada to be, because that one has a weird little like plasticky note to it when it is burning. This you get like a creamy Tahitian vanilla coconut. There's a little bit of like maybe like a melon in here. My nose when I first started burning this smelled a little bit of pineapple, but that dissipated. It's a really nice fragrance. Now, unfortunately, this one was not very strong for me. This was a better bedroom fragrance in this format. It just got completely lost out here in the open concept. So I would give this one probably like between a 5 and a 6 in terms of strength and throw. I believe that on the day of the restock for the May restock, they lost a completely full shelf of these 2 wicks, so they didn't have any to offer. But they did have them in the 4 wicks. And I would be curious, this is a fragrance that I would be curious to repurchase in a 4 wick. Spoiler alert, I did not repurchase it in a 4 wick for the May restock because I was spending my money on too many other things. But yeah, it's a nice fragrance, but I would recommend that if you have a larger space, or if you want to burn this in a larger space, make sure in the future to purchase this in a 4 wick, because the 2 wick was just like for a smaller room. Another candle from Caramel Sundays that will not be a repurchase for me. This is the fragrance Positano. This has kind of like a vanilla and a sandalwood note. But there's something about this one that's slightly powdery. Like this is a very kind of like powdery, perfumey sandalwood and vanilla. I'm not crazy about it. To be honest with you, this is probably my least favorite Caramel Sundays candle that I have purchased. I don't hate it, but I didn't love it. Now, what redeemed it and why I didn't just destash it is because my daughter really liked it, so I would burn this in her bedroom. This actually had a pretty decent strength and throw. I would give this one about a 7, you know, especially once it got going. I know a lot of people say like, oh, you know, there's been a lot of chatter, and everybody has, you know, everybody has their expectations for candles, what they want, you know, we're all spending our money. So I get it. Like, for me, I'm in a little bit different boat as a reviewer. I don't mind if it takes a couple of burns for a candle to get going, because again, I'm not purchasing a candle to want it. Like I like to finish up my candles a little bit faster because I'm always having new stuff come in. But I did find that this one was a little bit light on the first burn, but after that, it really, really picked up. But the average on this, I'd say was about a 7 for strength and throw, but it's not going to be a repurchase for me. I don't know if they plan to bring that one back next summer. And then while we're talking about caramel sundaes, the fragrance that I did enjoy burning with that Positano, this was a recommendation from Amy. Amy actually just started a YouTube channel. I believe it's called Beloved. It's Beloved Fragrance. I'll make sure to have her channel linked in the description box down below so you guys can go check her out. But she recommended, she liked this fragrance, Dark Salt and Coconut with the Positano, and I think that that was a great recommendation. So Dark Salt and Coconut, again, another fragrance a little bit outside of my wheelhouse, but I actually really enjoyed this for evening burns. This one was kind of a little bit, kind of like a sexy fragrance. You got, I get sandalwood in there, but I get the coconut too. And almost like a, it's not a chocolate note. Almost, it almost takes on kind of like that like mahogany type of vibe, but done really, really well. It was a great fragrance for the evening burns. Again, this one was about a 7 in terms of strength and throw. Nice in terms of like evening out at that. I think it initially started out a little bit stronger for me, but I liked it. I don't see myself needing to repurchase it again. But again, it was a nice enough fragrance that I did finish burning. Let's see here. Let's go back to Kringle for a minute, and we're going to talk about the wicks because this one also, this is Vacay. The fragrance notes on this are pineapple, sweet apple, floral, and coconut. I believe I did a review on this one as well this week. Here's the thing about Vacay. This is part of that like surprise labeled 3 wicks that they gave us back in early April. And this one, the flames were pretty good on it. I did not get the dudding out wicks. However, if you look up close on this, you can see that I had a wick move on me. And it's funny, this one, the last time it was burning in my bedroom, I started to notice, I was like, something smells a little off in here, like something's starting to smell weird. Well, sure enough, I walked over and the wick had moved over to the glass. Thankfully, the glass like didn't get scorched or anything yet, but I thought, oh, that's kind of dangerous. I hope Kringle looks into fixing their wicks a little bit better. I noticed that this is a problem more so on their 3 wick design. I haven't encountered it really with their 2 wicks, although I do notice that if I use a wick dipper on their 2 wicks, when I get to the bottom, sometimes the wick clips will detach. So I would like Kringle to look into getting a better glue for their wick clips, because I do find that when the wax gets really when the wax gets hot, especially as it approaches the end, the wick clips want to move, which is what it did, which that could be a fire hazard. So always want to be on top of that. So here's the thing. I thought, all right, I'll go ahead and save this one to Crockett. But here's the thing, you guys, I just feel meh about this fragrance. I like it, but I don't love it. It's one that I'm not going to repurchase. And I just thought to myself, you know what, Katie, why are you going to then like put this in a crock just to get the fragrance out of it, which you're not even that crazy about to begin with. And now you have to like, now you're kind of locked into certain fragrances that you can burn in the other rooms, because again, in my mind, I like all of the fragrances to complement each other. So yeah, this one, I'm calling it quits on it. It's okay. I did do the review on it. Strength and Throw was a little bit lighter. I would still say so far from these 3 wicks, the best performing ones that I've tried so far have been Grandma's Lemonade and the Pistachio Crema. Those 2 have been very strong for me, but this one was just middle of the road. I would give this one, I think in my review, I gave it like a 5 or a 6 in terms of strength and throw. It was good in the bedroom, but got lost out here in the open concept. And then we've got a HOMEWORX candle that I am actually planning to repurchase. This is the fragrance Strawberry Shortcake. Now, this particular one was sent to me in PR. We have fragrance notes here of fresh cut strawberries, baked vanilla shortcake, fluffy whipped cream, and powdered sugar. Now, here's the thing with this candle. If you are a fan of Bath & Body Works Strawberry Pound Cake, I don't think that you need this one. If you have a ton of strawberry pound cake and it's burning well for you and you like that one, you're not going to need this. However, if you're not a fan of how Bath & Body Works performs or whatnot, then you might want to check this out. Or maybe you're looking for like a second candle, you're wanting to buy 2 to get a discount or shipping or whatever. This is a nice fragrance. I actually see myself purchasing this again. I really enjoyed it. I'm enjoying pairing. I really loved it paired with the new Kringle Cherry Pie. Now, HOMEWORX sent me their Cherry Pie fragrance, and you're actually going to see a little bit of a sneak peek for my May Declutter. I got rid of cherry pie from HOMEWORX. I did not like it. It was not my favorite. But the strawberry shortcake was totally my jam. I really, really liked it. And again, I think I want one more for this season to burn along with that cherry pie. Burned really cleanly for me. Strength and throw on this was pretty good too for most of the burn. I would say towards the end there, like that, the last burn, I did notice a down, like a downtick or a decrease in strength and throw. I would say like the for throughout most of the burns of this was anywhere between a 7 and an 8, but on that last burn it was a little bit more between a 5 and a 6. It did a little bit better in the bedroom, but overall I do recommend this fragrance, especially again if you like Bath and Body Works strawberry pound cake. It's very, very similar, but if you have a ton of strawberry pound cake, then you can probably skip that one and you're not really going to be missing out. Speaking of Bath and Body Works, I did finish a new candle. This is the fragrance Sugar Cone Crunch. We have fragrance notes of freshly baked sugar cone, caramel sea salt, and gooey marshmallow. Now, I said that this fragrance reminded me a lot of, there was a graham cracker note in here that reminds me, even though it's not listed here, it smells like this could be a cousin or a sibling to last fall's pumpkin s'mores. Now, there's no chocolate, but there is kind of like it's whatever they're calling is like the cone in here. It's coming across a little bit like graham cracker to me. It's that same accord. This has more vanilla mixed in with it. Get a little bit of like that, like marshmallow. I think when Bath and Body Works does vanilla, a lot of the time it is kind of that marshmallow vibe. I liked this. I will tell you that this one, I had some burn issues with it. It really, really struggled to pull out the first burn on it. Second burn, it struggled to pull out. I had to place it into a hurricane, which of course then impacted the strength and throw. I will say that finally by like, after I did my review on it, I did notice that it didn't have those pulling out issues anymore. Once it got to like the halfway point, started to burn a little bit better. I did get some better strength and throw from it. I would say it's at the most, this was about a 7, but you know, it didn't start out so strong for me. So I didn't really give it a great post-burn review when I did my dedicated review on it. To me, here's the thing with this one. When it burns too long, it does start to smell a little bit scorched to my nose. Bath and Body Works candles, you typically don't want to burn any longer than say 3 hours. I'm trying to remember. I remember the wicks were an issue for me at the beginning, and I'm trying to remember towards the end here if the wicks struggled or if they kind of corrected themselves. I don't feel or see any evidence of me having to pour out the wax to get the wicks to adjust. But I do remember this one just burning a little bit slower. It did have that like zinc core to the wicks, whereas the, sorry, I have a hair in my mouth here. The Vacation Villa and the other candle that I'm going to show you guys had very thick ropey wicks, but this one had those like thinner wicks with the zinc core. So not going to be a repurchase for me. I could see people stocking up on this one during SAS, but not one that I felt like I really needed to get another of. But here's a candle that burned well for me. I love this fragrance. You guys will actually see again, I did go into Bath and Body Works. I exchanged some candles. I told you guys that I was going to exchange the Sunlit Glow candle. And then what other, did I have another exchange to do or did I just place a Bopus? I can't remember what I did. Did I have an exchange? I can't remember. Anyways, I did end up getting 2 more of this fragrance. This is the fragrance Santorini Coast. Santorini Coast has fragrance notes of creamy coconut, almond blossom, and warm vanilla. And here's the thing, you guys. I've loved this fragrance for the last 2 years. However, the last 2 years, this fragrance was, I would give it maybe like a 6 in terms of strength and throw. Wasn't super strong for me. I always thought, oh, it's a nice complimentary fragrance in the bedroom. This year's version, this one, I don't know what they tweaked. This one was performing like a champ for me. I mean, this one was like a solid 8.5, almost 9 in terms of strength and throw. Very creamy, almost gourmand type of coconut. This one had 0 burn issues. It burned pretty hot, I would say, but even then, you guys, you can see the wax is not dirty. The vessel is not dirty. So you guys know I've been harping on Bath and Body Works for a while because I've had performance issues with them. And other than that Sugar Cone Crunch, so far Santorini Coast and Vacation Villa, which look like they're in like the same type of collection here, you know, with this little whatever this collection is. performed really, really well for me. So it made me happy to know, like, once I saw that this one was performing so well, that's why. I think what I did was I did an exchange for another one of these, and then I purchased, I think there was the weekend where I think they had like $12.95, and I had like a 20 or 25% off coupon. So I did end up getting two more of these, and I did purchase a candle that I've never had before. It's not new to Bath and Body Works, but I've never had before. I'll share that with you guys in my May like candle collection update. But yeah, really, this one performed really well. So if you are a fan of the fragrance Santorini Coast, I am here to say that this first one at least performed like a beast. I've already started burning the second one. The second one's burning great. So if you like that fragrance, then go ahead and now's the time. Go ahead. I give the green light on Santorini Coast this year. So that is it in terms of the candles that I finished burning throughout the month of May here. You know, I'm on my tail end here of burning a few more fragrances. I feel like I'm going to get couple more done, so that way I should have more to share with you at the midpoint of June, you guys. And I really have got to focus on burning up a lot of these candles because whoo doggy, the month of May, you guys won't believe it in my collection update how many candles came into my collection this month. It's a bit absurd. So make sure you guys are subscribed if you don't want to miss that video. I should have it up for you guys within the next couple of days. But let me know in the comment box down below, have you burned through any of these candles? What has your burn experience been with it? Are you also experiencing those issues with the Kringle 3 wicks? Check the pour dates, you guys. If some of your Kringle 3 wicks, if they have a pour date anywhere between late 2023 and I would say maybe through like March 2024, and you're having that puny wick syndrome, or maybe if you have some of those 3 wicks in your collection, be prepared that you might need to crock those to get the full extent of the fragrance, because that was just something that I ran into over the last month and was a little bit disappointed by. But let me know in the comment box down below if that has been an issue for you. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.